think we just like posting on my one red blouse. Like me they have one red blouse with the bell sleeves. Oh my god. Everywhere me I go, me and that red blouse. You know, see a Christmas when you hear them start bus 1 and 2. And the closer it got to Christmas is the more frequent it got. A lot of us are having a grand time this holiday season. It's a happy time for most of us, but you have quite a few people who absolutely hate this time of year. For those struggling with other things, I'm sending you love as well. And in a time like this where a lot of people are buying up stuff and you're probably going through a hard time and not able to Hey lovelies, today we're gonna have a little chit chat. Today we're gonna have a little chit chat about what Christmas was like for me as a child. Well, based on little details I can remember. Cause you know, say girl get old now, so I'm not gonna remember everything. But the core memories, of course, you know, they're gonna stand out. So I'm gonna start off with the days leading up to Christmas. So for the days leading up to Christmas, when in the country, and about to come and say me I call Senti country, but yeah. When you're living in the rural areas, let me say that because some people don't like the country term. But when you're living in the rural areas, you know a country. When you're living in the rural areas, you know it's Christmas when everybody start paint, clean up their yard from head to toe or top to bottom, I should say. Or you just say something fussy go on. So in our little community where I grew up, we would normally paint the tombs, you know, get to a whitewash. So when you see that happen, you know say a Christmas I come because well, you have to make sure that the tomb them paint. Also, our yard, you know that clean up from time to time throughout the year, but you see from top to bottom, Christmas time is when you get that full nice chopping, like they would burn when you need to burn with the spray, and then they just chop from top to bottom. And that's something I used to love seeing. Like, you know, the yard just look light and nice. But here's the thing, you know, what happened. When I say we, I mean, I'm not even gonna include Brian in this because Brian came along years after. I'm 13 years older than Brian, so you know, say my little picnic. But it used to be Tanique, OJ is my other brother, and Kadisha. We're cousins, but we grew up like sisters. So we'd have to sweep, and it was mainly Tanique and I. We had to get our willow brooms, and I don't think some of y'all know what a willow tree is. So we used to get willow brooms, and we had to bundle them up and use something to tie the tops in, unravel, and then chop off the base, a base I call it, the foot part of the bottom part of the thing you'd gather together. You chop off the bottom part so it has this sharp effect when you sweep. So you know, say no stone left unturned. So we'd have to sweep from the top of the gate to down at the bottom of the yard. But you know, even though we're never too fond of doing it, we never mind because we enjoyed the season. And that's just a part of it. Like, you know, it's a given. So that was, you know, something to talk about. Let me tell you something when we can never understand, and I'll never understand to this day, why my granny used to make we have to wash a fancy plates, the fancy cups, the glasses, the saucers. Them look at something that when nobody now used throughout the year. Like they've never been used, and I still don't think they're being used to this day. But she never had a break front. What she had was a whatnot. She had a whatnot, and there was this other thing. I don't remember what your name right now, but it's a 2-layer thing. You know, you have it top and the bottom. Wagon. We used to call it the wagon. I don't know what your right name be, but a wagon we used to say. She had this wagoners laden with some fancy things, and we'd have to wash them, rinse them, and then turn on, dry them, and put them up again just to not be used. Some never sit through all of that. Like, what's the purpose? Like, what's the purpose? And that's something I'm not gonna have any. I don't think nobody nowadays, like in our age group, fancy these little things and cherish them like that. I don't think so. But for me, I know say me not into that. Like couple plates and things, I'm good. Like me no want. but it works for them, and I think it's just something that they grew up seeing, and you know, for them think that, but not my thing. So we had to watch that, and sometimes not willingly, you know, as kids we will try get like an attitude, but but we still watch them, we mumble and we watch them nonetheless, and we can't break none. Mind you, we can't break any. And then I think it's Christmas time, so we used to have like these bottles. We used to wash the bottles them and like sell them back to, if my memory serves me right. I think it's Christmas time we used to do that too. And for the house now, you know, we never had a Christmas tree growing up, but what we did have was a sweet sap tree. So you know, we take with hand and ton make fashion. We used to string up the sweet sap tree beside the door and put pepper lights on it. And you know, when the light is up at night time, because that was our little tree. And for decorations, we used to do balloons, put balloons on the top of the roof, the ceiling, and we used to use crepe papers, like you know, you intertwine the crepe papers and stream them from one end to the other. We used to use different colors and everything like that, and some of the little drop down things mommy used to buy in Santa Cruz or Junction. And can I tell you, they were everything to us, because yes, I'm gonna say this again, we never had much, and it's kind of cliche because a lot of people, well, it's just reality. A lot of us grew up with little to nothing, but we never made it an issue. Like it was fine. We were happy, and that's the most important thing. Especially in my community, like there was nothing to really compare your life to. Like everybody kind of on the same level for most parts. So we never really know, say, you know, we never had it like that because we're all on the same level. So there was nothing to compare life with, to say, oh, this happened and we don't know, we don't have it, or you know, stuff like that. We never really had much to compare, and that's why I say comparison is the thief of joy. We never had much, but we make do with what we had, and we were happy. Like my mother did an excellent job at that. And you know, the bed sheets for Christmas, when they put on for them fancy sheet, you can't mess up that. You have to just see it and stay far from it, because where we live is red dirt. So you know how red dirt stay, it stains. So if you ever go on for them sheets, and especially my granny, my miserable granny, hey, if you ever go on fear bed and live look a crush night, in a problem, because fear thing have to straighten well out. And Christmas Eve, I don't remember if the tree lighting used to be before. I think it used to be before. But that's another thing we looked forward to, because we never went out much. Because if you know my mother, you know, we never went out much like that. So Christmas tree lighting up by the community center at basic school, we used to call it basic school, that we used to look forward to. We'd go with Jackie, a cousin of ours. May she continue to rest in peace. We used to go with Jackie, and a handful of us used to go, and we would really enjoy that, because that's, you know, the only little excitement we really have for Christmas. It's that tree lighting, and sometimes you don't know how much an initiative can help a child, because again, that's the only little outing we'd really have as a child growing up. So that tree lighting meant a whole lot to us, and we used to look forward to it, especially the gifts, because me love presents bad, me love gifts bad. So I used to look forward to it. Like a real tree used to be erected and nicely decorated and everything, and the kids from around would just gather and sing Christmas carols, answer little questions, and you know, they teach us the true meaning of Christmas and the whole works. So I used to love that. We never had a grand market experience until we were teenagers. Like never. I'm just a teenager, I mean like about 14, 15. So our the most we had for grand market experience growing up was when we used to follow mommy go Santa Cruz, and I think she used to alternate who she takes. So we would go with her throughout the days, and she used to shop, I don't remember the supermarket name, but I know for sure she'd go into Morrison's. So I think it's still around, but Morrison's, she used to go into Morrison's and stuff like that, you know, get the necessaries and Because if we never used to go supermarket throughout the year, trust me. Christmas, now pass on supermarket no go. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that used to happen, but you know, that's a time when you know say shopping is a must. That's far as Grand Market that's far as Grand Market was for us to just go and shop with her and come back home. And it was just so busy, a lot of hustle and bustle, but we never mind because we just want to know so we're up on the road as kids. Then the first time now we go Grand Market with Michelle, that's my uncle's girlfriend, Michelle Boswe. And I think it's because mommy trusted her that much. She sent us with her because she never got sent with any and anybody. So yeah, Michelle took us to Santa Cruz Grand Market. We were out until about 2-3 o'clock. I don't remember, but we did out late, so never used to, but you want to see we think we just like posting on my one red blouse. Like me they have one red blouse with the bell sleeves. Oh my god. Everywhere me I go, me and that red blouse. That one red blouse and the jeans pants, like I would have lived in that blouse. So till me don't know how. But again, because we never had all these fussiness to the phones. But then again, we don't have anything else to wear like that. Like, you don't have much choice. Like, I literally only had like probably 3 blouses to choose from when I go out. So, what am I talking about? What am I talking about? So, before I go anywhere, I know say it's either this or that or that. Yeah, with the dress no post in a Santa Cruz. Hot. And Tanik, me not gonna talk a secret here, but yeah, that's still funny to this day. But we went, enjoyed ourselves, got back in one piece, and that was that. But one thing I didn't particularly like this about the Christmas season was a fire rocket. We used to call it fire rocket, aka clappers, firecrackers. But you know we're Jamaican, so we go put spin on everything. I never liked that one bit. Me never like it one bit because why them have it so loud and sound so violently aggressive? Me never like it none at all. To this day, I still don't like it. And then boys used to have some makeshift one where them use the fowl feather them, chicken feathers. They used to use it and put some nail and some other fandangles in it and put the matchsticks in and just throw it up and drop it and it would make this loud noise. I never like it one bit. These are the ones that are like rockets. They would take off and then just explode mid-air. I never like them there either. Like, I never like nothing name firecrackers. And you know, say at Christmas when you hear them start bus 1 and 2. And the closer it got to Christmas is the more frequent it got. So you know my struggles. And because the boy them know somebody afraid of it, they used to purposely wait until me I go up the road for just a bus them. And I never like the ones who throw them at you. I've never gotten one thrown at me, but you know, people used to throw it on people. I never like that because I think it's pretty dangerous. Where am I now? Christmas Eve, I'm still upon. So for most of our Christmas Eve, we would spend them up by Uncle Alvin. May he so rest in peace. But Granny, you know, our Granny used to be alive back then too. May her soul rest in peace as well. But Granny, that's our great grandmother. That yard was at the central yard. So we used to go there a whole lot for Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. But for Christmas Eve, you know, all of our little cousins them used to gather because nobody never really used to go up on the road for Grand Market like that. So we just play games until we feel like we for going or we hear mother start call. We know say a time for going. But we get a little blind Christmas Eve when we're out playing because you know a holiday. So we would be out for hours on top of hours. I would love that. So that's another core memory right there. Another thing we'd do leading up to Christmas Day was to clean the glass window them. Now the windows I'm talking about are not the fancy windows. They are the single blades them. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. But they're the single blades one where you have to slide in you have to slide it in and hook it. Like about 5 of them or 6 of them hold it in the window. So those are the type of windows we had to clean the glass windows, wipe them down and shine them with newspaper. Afterwards make sure they might glisten. Then we'd have to we don't really help paint much because we'd cause a mess more than anything else. So we never really partake in the painting part much. But we had to wipe off what needed to be wiped off so that can be done. And the fake flowers them and the figurines. I had to wash my granny fake flowers, and then the figurines, you know, you can't broke them. Let me tell you something. One night time, one of them they get broke off from me, and me hitch it up. Just take time, hitch it up. So whomever goes there next can just, you know, confession is good for the soul. But me just hitch up the head for one of them, so whomever go the next can just bounce it off and say, oh my God, I broke it. But me just hitch it up and wish whomever go near it luck, because I know me not gonna take a blame for that at all. But yes, we used to have to wash the figurines and wipe them down again, and as usual shine them to make sure so them are glisten when them done. And the floor, how much I forget the floor part, because red floor, and you know you have to make sure that the floor shine like looking glass, like a mirror. You're supposed to see a reflection when you look back in the floor there. So I had to put a coconut brush of sun, yes, put it for sun, polish the floor with a Genie Red polish, and when that brush sun in a man and you put that and the polish, hey, it melts, it just melts away. You shine that, and when you're done you go back over it with a rubbing cloth, as we call it. I don't know, fancy map where I talk about, now I talk about rubbing cloth, which I have to just go back over it and rub it. At that time it glisten. So we had to do all of that, and trust me, we never like it, but looking back at it now, it really meant a whole lot to us, and it stands out. Will forever stands out. It'll forever stand out, and I wouldn't trade those days for nothing. Like, I wouldn't trade those days. As an adult now, me that go back and rub two of them floor there right now. Like, I would. And another part me never too like, I mean, I think me don't want to go back go do that right now, was to clean the bathroom. Me never like to clean the bathroom, none at all. Outside bathroom, me never like to clean that. I don't know if me don't want to go back go do that. But. And then the kitchen, no, me forget the kitchen too. We used to have it was the kitchen was the zinc kitchen, so it had the concrete floor, so we had to clean that. That was probably one of the worst floors to ever clean. If you know, you know. We never liked that floor. We used to have to clean it. I don't think we really placed much emphasis on the kitchen floor like we would for the room floors. So I don't remember what color I did even be, I know. But me just know so me never like clean that floor there. None at all. None at all. Cause me this scornful. Bad. Really scornful. So some things I'm doing now, like as a teen or a kid, you wouldn't really get me to do it and do it willingly, because me just a bit too scornful. But no, you know, things have changed a whole lot. So my outlook on life has changed, and my tolerance to certain things changed. So doing it now, it wouldn't be like as bad as back then. And fast forward to Christmas morning. On Christmas morning now, our cousins, Greg, may his soul rest in peace, Greg, Omar, Onik, Patrick, and Uncle Alvin, you know, he's no longer here as I mentioned before, they used to come down by our house for breakfast, and I think some other persons used to be there too. But for Christmas morning especially, you know, some of them come, so you know you have to live for them breakfast. It's religiously for years that happened. I don't know if they still do now. Well, you know, who is remaining, I don't know if they still do now. But religiously they'll come for breakfast, and they may stop at 2 or 3 other houses in the community, because we're all family. But this is something that they would do, and I would look forward to having them there, because, you know, a lot of laughter, happiness all around. So it was really good, and it's just a time of togetherness, and I just loved it as a kid. Then I think I skip over something, you know. Yes, I used to believe in Santa Claus. Well, my sister and my brother did too, and my cousin. We used to all believe in Santa Claus, and that's kind of crazy, because my mother, like, half a lover, sorry, again, we never had much, but she never made it obvious. And she used to have us put stockings up, because my granny used to go to church a whole lot, so she always wear stockings them. So we get stockings from her, we'd cut them off and hang them, like use tape to hang them on the wall. And by the way, on that wall I'm talking about, like it's a room where all four of us would share, because all four would stay in the one room. My mother, brother, sister, and myself. And then, later on O'Brien came into the picture. But we'd hang our stockings on the wall. But by the time Brian for come, that stocking had to stop hang. We'd hang our stockings on the wall, tape them up, and we try to stay up because we said we have to see who put the presents in this. We have to see Santa Claus. So we'd try to stay up and, try as we may, we weren't able to stay the full night. So we all went to bed, and because we used to go to bed and so mother go to bed too, we'd never assume it's her. Because religiously, we'd wake up to gifts in our stockings. It would always be a doll for me, and me did love Dolly bad. Me did love Dolly bad, and told me the little and prime, like, me did love Dolly bad. And that's where my love for hair came into play. I used to comb my Dolly hair a whole lot, experiment as well, because when I tie my cream on my Dolly hair, everything drop off. But I used to experiment a whole lot with my doll's hair, and I just absolutely loved combing hair from then till now. And my brother would get cars or some action figures that were in back in the days, so everyone would be happy. And we never had a chimney. We never had a chimney, but yet still we believe that Santa Claus passed through, because why? We have gifts in our stuff. And I remember this year I got this very big dolly. I mean, I said, oh my God, like my year was made just by that. That one was everything to me. So when I go up on the road in the evening, go look for my cousin down the road, my dolly in my hand. Sometimes I get it wrapped in a blanket or something, but me didn't have that. You couldn't tell me say no my baby that. Couldn't tell me say no my baby that. But yeah, that's another good memory there. And I think the emphasis my mother placed on Christmas and my family on a whole, that's the reason why Christmas is so big for me. And it's still a joyous time because of all those memories from back in the days. Like it just warms my heart, and it puts me in a good place, and it makes me feel extremely happy. So for me, it's just so important to continue to pass that Christmas spirit on to my kids. And they know the true meaning of Christmas, of course. They know I'm Santa Claus, duh. They're smart kids, they're not still like we. But it doesn't take away from how they feel about the holiday. And I just love that. I love that for them, I love that for me. And I do hope if they do want to have kids, or even if they have family of their own, I want them to ensure that this tradition is passed on and forever and ever, amen. But yes, it's dear to me. Was that about everything? I know on Christmas Day itself now, after breakfast and everything, and after breakfast, what we normally do again, for Christmas dinner is normally a whole shebang. You'd have multiple meats, your rice and gungo peas, and your carrot juice, your sorrel, stuff like that. And again, even though we never had much, I don't know where it come from for Christmas, but you would never be able to tell. Like, you would never be able to tell. And that's one thing I used to, like, now that I know how things used to be, I can really appreciate the effort that they place into ensuring that even though it rained on them, we were sheltered from that rain, if you get what I mean. So they never had it easy. But as kids, we weren't aware of that because of how well they played it off and how well they managed their circumstances. We never really know. I appreciate that. But yeah, that pretty much sums it all up. So you guys have gotten to know me some more by sharing all these memories that really made me the person I am today. And again, cherish your loved ones, cherish your family, like love on your family a whole lot, because at the end of the day, like, they play such a vital role in who you become as a person and how you treat people as well. Trust me, sometimes it you can give and take, but I think my upbringing, it really made me who I am and how I treat people. Like, I have my ways, don't get me wrong, I have my ways, and I have my days. But overall, like, I'm a very decent human being, you know, very, very decent human. I go toot my own, I go toot my own horn all the time. And I treat people with the utmost respect. Like, unless you disrespect me, I'm gonna say I don't have a reason for disrespect me. But unless you do that, like, you won't get to see a certain side of me. But for most part, I'm a very decent human being. I treat people with the utmost respect. I value people. I can't ever see myself really I use nobody. Like, you know, people just within the, and I'm not talking about like using a partner romantically or financially. I'm not talking about that now. Not that I'm saying I do that, but you know, like how some people they're just mean to people and just have this mean spirit. I'm not that type of person. Like, I'm not like. And side note, a lot of us are having a grand time this holiday season. It's a happy time for most of us, but you have quite a few people who absolutely hate this time of year. And you know, I'm sending them love, sending them hugs, because for more reasons than one, they probably have a valid reason to not like this time of year. Probably past trauma, past experiences that wasn't so pleasant for them, and they've perhaps lost the ones that mattered most to them at this time of the year. So I'm really sending love, and for those struggling with other things, I'm sending you love as well. In a time like this where a lot of people are buying up stuff and you're probably going through a hard time and not able to do certain things like you'd want to do, like, trust me, just take your hand and turn fashion. Take your hand and turn fashion, because not everything you really need to buy new stuff for. And for those of us who are able to do that, you know, kudos to us. But you have some people who really and truly cannot afford to do that, and they might feel less of themselves at a time like this, or feel down and out, depressed, because you know, you see everybody do this whole shebang and you're not able to partake. But your time is coming, your day is coming. Like, trust me, it doesn't rain forever. You have to stop at least some point in your life. Like, better days are ahead, so do what you can with what you have and make that work for you. Like, don't compare your life to no one else's. Don't compare anything to anyone else's, because what, you just never know. So what's your current situation now, it may not be a couple days down the road, a couple hours down the road, a couple months down the road, a couple years down the road. So just be focused, know what you're about. Make do. Like, I shared the story before with my mother. Like, we never had much, but we could never tell, because she used to take her hand and turn make fashion. So, and you know, my daddy, I mean, I talk about him a whole lot, but my daddy was always there in the picture as well. He's a cool parent. Yeah, he's a cool parent. Anything goes. My mother had the final say, so anything Vanette say, that goes. But you know, she really played a vital role in how we saw life, and for that I'm forever thankful. And I hope I can be half that parent in that regard to my kids as she was to us, because yeah, it's a dark, when it's a hug a sweat, but here cover it. So you may be going through a whole lot, but you don't have to look like what you're going through, because sometimes it's just that we compare ourselves and our situation to some people and want certain things, and you know, you just have to go through your storm. They went through their storm. Sometimes you just have to go through your storm, ride out your storm, and joy comes in the morning. Have a wonderful rest of the day, guys. Happy holidays. Whenever you see this, I'm not sure when I'm gonna post this, but do have yourselves a wonderful Christmas season. And again, make do with what you have and have the most awesome Christmas yet.